Hey guys, I'm for Sleep and Reverie here. Now, welcome to today's episode. Like I promised you I would do. Today is what happened to my channel. I'm for Sleep and Reverie's what happened to my channel. Now, before I get into it, I just want to first say thank you for all the love and support on the video that I posted last weekend saying I'm back. You heard it here first, well second, because you heard it in my other video. I'm back. I'm happy to be back. And today's episode is going to get into the why and what happened to my channel. And, you know, we're going to go over updates and we're going to go over the future of this channel because I am indeed back. So I just want to thank you all for the support, the views, the comments. I saw some really cool comments and people like, wow, I watched you when I was like in middle school. Now I'm graduated. Or, wow, I watched you when I was a teenager. Now I'm getting married. Congratulations, by the way. And someone mentioned the job of their dreams. That was super awesome. And it was cool to see all the usual suspects, like my friends to this day. You know who you are, and we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I just want to thank you all for all the support, not giving up on me. Yes, your patience has wear off. My patience has paid off too, because trust me when I say nobody wanted to post as much on their channel as me in that sense. So thank you. Appreciate y'all. So before we get into it, I just want to say, I want to address the JDF situation. So as you all know, Jason David Frank, who played Tommy, one of the most iconic Power Rangers of all time. I mean, who doesn't remember Green with Evil? The Green Ranger was so popular when I was a kid. Recently passed away, and it was a tragedy. He took his own life. And, it impacted so many people who love Power Rangers. And, I understand why. There was their childhood hero. Now, I was always a Red Ranger guy, but I was still, like, shook at how awesome Tommy was and how awesome the Green Ranger was. And pun intended, as a kid, I felt a little green with envy, if I'm being honest with you, because I was red. Tyrannosaurus, Jason, eventually Rocky. But that was my thing as a kid. And I always remember having a little chip on my shoulder, trying to continuously prove to myself and to my friends I played with as kids that Red was in charge, that Red was the leader. And I always felt like I had a little chip on my shoulder, trying to prove that the Red Ranger is where it was at, even though the Green was like this new cool thing, which it was. So anyways, that's all to say. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. You will be missed. I don't want to get into the rumor and innuendo on why and what happened and why he did what he did or why he lost his life. But I will just say this, especially all of you that have come up with me in terms of like growing up from like kids to adulthood, you all know life is very complicated. So many things happen in our life. There's no like clear cut, like right path, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. It's a mix of everything. So I just want to say we all make mistakes. We all do things. We all try to be the best versions of ourselves and fall short constantly. I myself learned the most from failure, even though it's not fun to fail. So I just want to say, regardless of what was going on in Jason David Frank's personal life, no matter who was at fault, who did bad things, which is very subjective. There's a few things that are clear-cut bad, obviously, but who did like what he said, she said, they said. There's three versions to every story: your version, my version, and the truth. I've always said that. No matter what mistakes people made in any relationships or just life, I don't know. There's very few instances where it's egregious enough to warrant the loss of someone's life. It's very naive of me to say this, but I believe it. All life is precious for the most part. And, I just think it's very unfortunate that Jason David Frank may have felt there was no out or option for him to go on in this world. And the world is at a huge loss without his presence. I mean, just look at all the Ranger actors. They lean on him for a lot of guidance and just overall like goodwill. And it's just so many testimonials by his peers on how much of a good guy he was. I met him once. He couldn't have been any more amazing. At the time I was in law school, and he made a joke like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to keep your business card because I might need you to get me out of trouble." So he was just a class act, and me, like, I'm just this giddy kid excited to meet my like Power Ranger actor that I look up to. one of my heroes. I mean, not necessarily on the level of any of my whole identity of like loving Red Rangers, but just someone I've admired since I was a kid. And the adult version of him, I often say, your heroes let you down. Jason David Frank did not let me down that day, and force and so on after that. So I want to say rest in peace, Jason David Frank, and share some of your favorite Green Ranger, Tommy, Jason David Frank memories below. Happy to comment on them, and I do have an update on some stuff I've been doing, but it will involve Jason David Frank and Green with Evil. But this is all to say rest in peace. Someone commented like when it happened, they wanted my thoughts, and this is before I had my channel back. So I hope you're watching, and I hope you all, join me in saying we love Jason David Frank, and we will miss him dearly, and rest in peace, and forever Green, just forever a good human being too. So rest in peace, Jason David Frank. So with that being said, let's provide some updates in my life. Hopefully this video stays under 15, but y'all know I ramble a lot, so we're gonna try our best here. So updates. Yeah, so I live and work in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. I've been here since 2016, the end of 2016. I graduated law school in 2016. It's just been really crazy. I work in politics. I didn't plan on working in politics. And that's a whole other story that my close friends know and family know. And if you are curious about that, happy to have a dialogue with you about that. But I got into politics in terms of working in politics, not running for politics. But I'm not here to espouse my political beliefs on anybody. I stand where I stand, and it's right for me. And that's all that's important to me. And I don't want to tell you what's right for you. I don't want you to tell me what's right for me. So I have my political beliefs, but I don't judge anyone on their political beliefs so long as you don't promote hate or bigotry or overthrowing our democracy. I think, and you believe in fair and fair elections, I think, we all have a lot of room to disagree and agree. And that's what makes our country beautiful. And I love our country. So I just want to say I work in politics, and it's been quite the ride, because I kind of wish I posted videos this whole time, because I literally started on my friend's couch in DC with no guarantees of anything. And I ended up getting the job in Congress. First, I worked in the Senate. I was a junior staffer in the United States Senate. And then I was a senior staffer a couple of years later in the House of Representatives. And through that, got a job at the White House, which is a crazy story in itself. And if I was really good at technology, I would pop up a photo right here of me at the White House. But I'm going to talk to a couple of my friends. Maybe they can help me edit. Y'all know since the beginning of time, I've not been good at editing. So much love for y'all understanding that. But you can also see all this on Instagram at Chris Toppy, CHRISTOPPY. It's in my highlights, stories, etc., etc. Very active on Instagram. But I got a job at the White House the first year of the Biden administration. Worked in the White House as a senior legislative affairs advisor. It was such a cool experience. Through that, prior to that, the Congress member I worked for in the House, she got appointed to the cabinet, the president's cabinet, to run an agency. And she wanted me to join because I was her second employee hired, and we have a great relationship. And, I wanted to work at the White House. That was a life goal of mine, and I did. So I kind of was like putting that on the back burner while I worked at the White House. After a year at the White House, we revisited the possibility of me joining my old boss, who is the secretary of a government agency in the Biden cabinet. And that's where I'm at now. And I've been doing that for almost a year, and it's been wild. I work in congressional affairs. Obviously, my experience lends to knowing Congress, knowing how Congress works on both sides of the aisle. Gotta be bipartisan in my role. Even if we have a team, gotta be bipartisan. So I live in DC. I have what I would argue is a good life, but it wasn't always like that. Y'all see the finished product. It was just such a journey that I really reflect on. I'm very thankful. And with that being said, I want to lean on a lot of the things that got me through that stuff. My friends and family. You remember all my friends that I've actually made through Power Rangers. To this day, you might have think, oh, they all kind of separated when you stopped doing this channel. Maybe they don't talk anymore. To this day, my best friend is Israel Parker. I call him Shane Parker. That's his name. But he was back then, you know, Israel Parker, and he's my best friend. I mean, we spend Thanksgiving and Christmas or Christmas together every year. I talk to him every day. He's one of my best friends. I love the man. He's awesome. My best friend, Shane Israel Parker. We just spent Thanksgiving together. We went to a University of Tennessee football game. Go Vols, go Big Orange. And to this day, we've grown up together. And do we talk about Power Rangers every day? Probably not, if at all, but we are bonded for life, and we've been friends for a long time now, so pretty much almost 10 years. So yeah, Shane Parker is still my friend, or Israel Parker. Joey Armstrong is still one of my best friends. A year and a half ago-ish, I went on vacation with Joey and his wife, and we went to Universal Studios in Orlando, and we had a blast, Harry Potter World, and we just had a blast. So like, and then also shout out to James Sanders, who is still my friend. Man, that guy is one of the best gift givers. My main love language is gift giving and receiving. And if you don't know what a love language is, I would Google that. It's pretty interesting. It tells you how you operate in the world in terms of like how you receive and give love. And man, James Sanders is one of the best gift givers I've ever had in my life. And he gave me some cool stuff for Christmas. Gave me a really cool Green Ranger ornament that I had on my tree before I took it down. So it's really interesting, and I want to mention these people because we all, and everyone else who adjacent to these people, you know who you are. You hang out sometimes, we still talk sometimes. It's really interesting because we all started with our common bond over Power Rangers. No matter where we were in life, Power Rangers was the spark that started our friendship. And I'm telling you right now, I've been through so much with these guys, through life experiences, their life experiences, my life experiences. There are times where I look to, you know, Joey, James, and Shane, and they really got me through some tough times, and vice versa. I'm always there, a text, a call, a visit, an impromptu visit to my home if needed. But there are times where I was down bad, and Shane and Joey and James were there to just be good friends. And it's really interesting how this all just started with our love for Power Rangers, and now we're just all a bunch of functioning adults trying to make it in the world, and our bonds are super tight. I mean, like I said, Shane is my best friend, and we spend Thanksgiving or Christmas together every year, and we alternate. He met my mom. He knows my family. You know, we spend so much time. He's just my best friend, and he's a good guy, and I love him. Same thing with Joey and James. I mean, I rang in the new year with those guys. We got the band back together with Rudy. What's up, Rudy? Played some Call of Duty, and oh my God, it was like 2015 all over again. I just felt like time hadn't passed. And we all love Power Rangers, but we don't connect. We don't connect super over Power Rangers anymore. We just love it, but now we connect as people, which is just as important, if not more important, than Power Rangers. So I'm forever thankful for Power Rangers and my love for Power Rangers, and starting this channel, and your support, all of your support, for helping me meet some of my best friends. And all of you, my supporters, I consider you my friends as well. So I like to be responsive. In the comments, drop below, tell me how you're doing, tell me how life's treating you, and I'm always happy to engage with you. But yeah, so those people are my rock, my friends, my family, of course. And yeah, so that's a good segue to Power Rangers. So where do I currently stand with Power Rangers? Well, I would say over the years, I've always loved Power Rangers. I can't say it's my main hobby anymore as it was back in 2009, 2010 to 2016, whenever I stopped posting, 2015. I used to live and breathe Power Rangers. I used to just always think about it, and it was my main hobby, and I still love it. I'm telling you, I met so many cool friends. I still know all the random history with it. I still have all my collectibles, essentially. So I sold some really expensive San Diego Comic-Con pieces that I got a return on my investment, but I would say I have 90% of my collection still. Displayed, I have about probably 10% of it, if that, displayed. But in my closet, in my bedroom, I have 2 storage boxes of all the Morphers, a lot of Power Ranger stuff. And then back home in Texas, where I'm from, the 90% of my collection is there at my family's garage and storage, and my parents' house. So I still have all my stuff. So I just know wherever I end up long term, when I buy a house one day, I'm gonna have a man cave or whatever, a game room, collector's room. Even now in my apartment now in DC, I have a little guest room / game room, and I have 3 arcade 1-up machines, which I would be happy to review if y'all are interested in seeing arcade 1-up machines in action. And I have like a display, a DTOF case from IKEA that has 4 levels. Marvel encompasses 2 levels of those. I love the MCU, and so that was kind of a new thing. Not new, but nothing y'all really knew about. And I have an Ant-Man section, an Iron Man, Doctor Strange section, and then I have a Ninja Turtles section. So I've always loved Ninja Turtles. It was my first hobby before Power Rangers as a kid. So I have some Ninja Turtle stuff. And then the bottom shelf is where I have the really high-priced valued items for Power Rangers. And I'll show you all in a future video when I do like a room tour or something. But I have, I have the Dragon Dagger, the Legacy Dragon Dagger, a sealed green and white communicator, Legacy communicator. And I have like a lot of Red Ranger stuff, like my red communicator, a red vinyl pop. I have SPD Red in the new Hasbro line, the Lightning Collection. So I have SPD Red, SPD Green, and I have Bridge as SPD Red, which is, one of my favorite characters from Power Rangers SPD. And Bridge is awesome because he's been all 3, red, blue, and green. So it's really cool to have, Bridge, the character, represented. I also have Lauren from Super Samurai because, as I mentioned in a very past video, the historical significance of having her be a Red Ranger in Morph. Kimberly Crossman's awesome, plays a great Lauren character, so I have that represented. And MMPR Armored Red. So yeah, I just have, I still love Power Rangers. I wish I could say it was my main hobby. It's not. There's a lot of things in life that we love, and I think we can make room for it all. I mean, even now, I would say my main hobby is music. And one of my favorite bands, Dance Gavin Dance. I'm obsessed with them. I listen to them constantly. But like, there's just so much in life. I still play video games. I love Pokemon still. I have the new Pokemon on the Switch. I have the new Pokemon Switch, the OLED one, which the Scarlet and Violet one. I have a PS5. I have an Xbox Series X. I still game. I wish I had more time to game, but I don't. But, that's life. And you just try to find the moments you can to enjoy the things you love while still functioning in this society we call the world, right? And the aggregate. But, yeah, so I still like all those things. I haven't changed my principles or who I am as a person. I still believe you should be who you want to be comfortable being yourself, love what you love without judgment from others, so long as it's not harming anyone or breaking the law. Just love who you love and love what you love, and just be yourself, man. Like, I cannot tell you, self-love starts here. And it's a beautiful thing. Just be yourself. I mean, I'm in a career, right? Like, I've accomplished things. I think it's very subjective, but at the end of the day, I'm sitting here wearing an SPD Red jacket, and I'm just gonna always be who I am and very comfortable with that. And it's not perfect every day, but that's life, because life is not perfect. So I'm still me. I love Power Rangers. I wish I was more ingrained in it as I was back then. I can kind of roughly tell you the value of collectibles on the second market, but I don't obsess over it daily, and I'm very selective in my collecting. I'm very selective. Like, I just had so much stuff accumulated from my time collecting Power Rangers. So, and bear with me on this video. I mean, this is like a testimonial, so you're gonna have to get through like 25 minutes of hearing where I've been. I mean, it's been like 6 years, been such a long time. So yeah, it's just been like, I'm very selective on what I collect. Like, the last thing I bought, it was actually a gift from Shane. Thank you, Shane, for my birthday last year. I got like that really tall, like really detailed Red Ranger with like the mesh clothing and the armor Red Ranger, and it's really tall. I wish I brought it for this video, but I'll review that eventually. So yeah, I'm very selective. Of course, I have like the new like the Hasbro Morpher. I thought that Morpher was amazing. I want to review that Morpher. So see, a review for that Morpher is going to be coming up down the pike soon. So yeah, and then my display, like I said, I have a 93 Red Ranger Morpher, a Legacy Bandai Red Ranger Morpher, and then the Hasbro Lightning Collection Red Ranger Morpher. So I always want to represent red to the fullest. Forever red for me, but like forever Ranger, whatever you like, you know. For all you Green Ranger and Yellow Ranger, Blue Ranger, Pink Ranger, all Rangers, you know, love the Rangers you love and embrace it, you know. So that's kind of where I stand on Power Rangers. I haven't seen the newest season. I still have all the seasons on DVD because I do have the collection with the Red Ranger helmet, as you might see in a past video. And, you know, sometimes I'll pop in SPD. I really miss it. I'll watch them NPR. So, yeah, that's kind of what I have going on in Power Rangers. I still love it. I can't say that I'm obsessed with it. But, you know, so, you know, I just think it's very good to still remain principled to your core on what you like. But, you know, at the end of the day, life happens, and I hope to catch new seasons. I would love to get my thoughts on it. I stopped after Beast Morphers. I kind of saw a little bit of Beast Morphers, and I like Go Busters, so I was curious. And yeah, so I just think I should pick up and kind of see where it's at. But I don't think it'll ever get to the level it was when we started doing this channel, because that was at the precipice of like re-entry to MMPR, and then, you know, they did the Megaforce and Super Megaforce and all the nostalgia, and so yeah, so I still love Power Rangers, so there you go. Just not on the same obsessive level, I would say, but who knows? I'm very thankful, and that's how I met some of my best friends. To this day, we're still friends. So yeah, I think that's really awesome. So now let's go into what happened to my channel. So we're 21 minutes in. It's probably gonna be a 30-minute video. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I can be chatty, but what happened to my channel? So long story short, as the channel was bubbling, we're doing good. I was at the tail end of law school. So I decided to just, you know, take a couple of weeks off, not post the next tutorial. And, you know, it just lost track of time. It was the last year of law school. I was going through some things in life, personal life stuff. You know, I was trying to do finals. I was also like positioning for a move to Japan after law school for a little bit. It was just so much going on. So I definitely did not keep up with the channel like I should have. Now I plan to address it eventually, but then something crazy happened. So, you know, 1 month turned into like 6 months and whatever. Life happens. So then I eventually finished law school, and it's like 2016, and like the fall of 2016. And I'm starting my career on a political campaign, and I'm just not focused on Power Rangers. I'm not even really thinking about Power Rangers. But around that time, I got a new phone number, a cell phone number, and that's really important to know for context. So I kept getting asked from YouTube, like, monetize your channel, or like update your contact information, and I just never kept up with it, just never thought about it. So in 2016, I changed my phone number, and I just didn't think about it. And so it wasn't until I started getting, and then after that, I moved to DC. I moved to DC in December of 2016. Didn't really think much about Power Rangers, still liked it, but didn't touch the channel. And it wasn't until I got settled into DC where I started thinking like, and also my best friends, you know, Shane, Israel Parker, Joey, and James would be like, hey man, like, we missed the channel. What do you think about the channel? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll eventually get to it. I saw the comments. I'll eventually get to it. You know, it's important, but you know, I'm trying to figure things out. And nothing really new is popping on Power Rangers, so I think I'm good. And then when I finally got settled in DC, I was like, all right, it's time to get back into this. Let's do it. So I tried to log into my YouTube account, and at this point, they've all turned into Google accounts, like, you know, Gmail accounts. So I think I missed the window of transitioning, like, the Armor for Sleep and Reverie channel and the email associated with that, which was a Yahoo email, to a Gmail account. So there was this weird little like transition period I might have missed. And so every time I tried to log in, I would use the email associated with that channel, and it would ask me to, okay, like, we recognize it. It's not a Gmail account yet. You didn't ever transition it to a Gmail account. However, to verify it's you, we're sending you a code to your cell phone number. Now, guess what? The cell phone number that I had in that account was the old phone number from 2016, 2015, late 2015, maybe early 2016. So it was going to my old cell number. So there's no way for me to see this verification code to verify it's me. Now, of course, there's other solutions. You can contact YouTube, you can contact Gmail, and I cannot tell you how many times I tried to solve this by doing that. Email after email after email to no avail, no contact, got ghosted by Gmail and YouTube. And you can never talk to a live person. Like, unless you know someone on the inside, it's like hard to talk to a live person to figure this out. And so I just kind of, to be frank, like was like, well, I guess I'm never getting the channel. And Joey and James and, you know, sometimes Shane would be like, why don't you just start a new channel and tell everyone that it's your new channel? And I was like, that would be really hard, because it'd be hard to take 6,000 of you and just transfer you to a new channel, especially since everyone wants to be like a YouTube influencer or a social media influencer. I just wanted to have my little channel with Power Rangers and people enjoying it. Like I said from the beginning, if one person likes what I do, literally one, I will keep doing my content. So I still stand by that. I bless everyone that makes a living doing this, bless everyone that lives for the followers and the counts and the popularity. I was never in it for that. Doesn't make me better than anyone, doesn't make me special. I just was never in it for that sort of situation. So I kind of forgot in the back of my mind. Joey was probably the biggest catalyst in like, dude, we have to try to get this. So Joey and I, this was a couple of years ago, just had a conversation. James was involved, but you know, there's a lot of Joey and me talking about it. We're like, why don't we just text the phone number and tell them the situation? And I'm like, sure. So, well, first it was like, why don't we get a like WhatsApp or like Google number and pick that phone number so that it comes to us and we have the verification. And we tried that. We couldn't pick the phone number. It was a mess. It was annoying. So then we tried texting the number, and it was a green bubble. So either they have an Android, which if they do, I feel sorry for them. Just kidding. You know, I love Apple, but I'm just being funny. So either they, so it was green. So either it's an Android or it's a landline. It's not like a cell phone number. So I text and I explained the situation. Joey texts and explained the situation. Left on red, ghosted, etc. I called. Nobody answered. Not working number sometimes. And it would say not working number. Sometimes it would be an answer. Sometimes it wouldn't be an answer. So this was like 2 years ago. So we kept trying, and especially during COVID. Oh my God, COVID hit. COVID happened, right? In March of 2020. And I was like, this is a perfect time to start my channel again and freaking get out there and tell people what I've been up to. I'm working from home, you know, and to no avail. We could not do it. So fast forward, you know, it was about a month ago. Joey kept kind of bringing it up too, and like, you know, and it's funny because even Shane's family members who I've become friends with, who knew that I had a channel back in the day, would ask me during the holidays, like, do you ever miss posting? Man, your channel reminds me of like nostalgia. You were so like innocent in this situation and just so excited about Power Rangers. And every time, you know, Shane's family told me that, I would be like, man, I miss that. I want that. Trust me, nobody wants that more than me in this universe of posting my content. So I would always think about it. Man, COVID would have been perfect. Jesus. So yeah. So fast forward to New Year's. You know, I traveled a lot for Christmas. I traveled from December 11th to like December 30th. And I was exhausted. I finally got home. So I was just burnt out on traveling and being out and about, and I needed some downtime. So I got the band back together on Call of Duty. It was me, Rudy, James, and Joey played Call of Duty. It was awesome. Modern Warfare 2. And that's how I spent New Year's. It was awesome. But during that conversation, Joey brought it up again. And then the guys were like, oh yeah, we missed your channel. This is how we all met, right? That's how we became friends. And Joey just brought it up again. And it just reignited the man, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. Well, fast forward, like, you know, a few days later, I get a random text from Joey. And he's like, dude, I just texted the number. And Joey, I'm paraphrasing this. So if you want to fix your quotations, you can put them down here in the comments. He's like, dude, I texted the number and it's a blue bubble, which tells me two things. It's a cell phone and it's an iPhone, which is even better because iPhones are awesome. Apple's awesome. But yeah, so I was like, oh my God, so you're telling me there's a chance? Joey's like, yes, there's a chance. So Joey texts the guy, and like I was willing to get involved if he was kind of giving Joey a hard time or whoever was on the other end. Joey texts the guy, it goes through, it's delivered on iMessage, which means it's a functioning cell phone Apple number. So the guy ghosts Joey. So I'm like, I just got home from work. It was a long day. Joey's like, I called him and told him the situation. And I told him, like, look, this is not a scam. I know it sounds like a scam. That's what I would have thought. I would have hung up immediately. And Joey's like, I thought, like, he was super cool about it. And I said, you don't have to click nothing. Joey said, you don't have to click nothing. Just read me the number that they give you when they send you the text, and I will forever be done with you. I will change it back to another number. It won't be bothering you. So the guy, to his credit, thank you so much, sir, whoever you are in Texas, you know, where I'm from. So Joey used that. Then I changed my password, updated my contact number to my current cell phone, and I was in my account. I could not believe it. It was amazing. It was so cool to be back in my account and see all the comments and all the views. And I'm probably going to try to monetize it because I have over 1 million views in total. And, you know, to have YouTube get that money, cool. But, like, I would like a little piece of that pie. Even if it never reaches the popularity, it reached just even if I get $10 from the situation, that's $10, you know. So that's how I got my channel back. And that's how I was like, all right, let's get this rolling. Let's do this. Let's do it. So the channel's back. That's the story. I wish it was a little more crazier than that, but finally someone got a functioning number and they listened to us. They did not think it was a scam, which is awesome. And it got to the point when, not to give too much information out, but when I worked at the White House, you essentially have access to so much information. I'm talking like CEOs, boards of companies, like every department in every company. Like think of an organizational chart for like every private company and public too, obviously, like governments and like staff, because you need to contact staff for various things, you know, meetings, etc., whatever, business, government business. So I got a hold of the government relations people at YouTube and Google, got their contact, reached out, emailed them, kind of explained the situation, said, look, I'm not looking to hack. Let me change the phone number so it goes to my cell and I can get my channel back. I kind of gave them a link to everything, and they never responded to me. And I'm telling you right now, when you email from a White House email, 99.9% of the time you get a response pretty quickly. So I even tried that to get my channel back, and it didn't work. That was the only time someone probably didn't respond to my White House email. So I tried so many things to get this channel back, and I'm very thankful that Joey never gave up in trying. So thank you, Joey Armstrong. You know, you're one of my best friends. I love you, man. And yeah, so, and thanks to everyone else who always was like, man, like, we want you back. Or like, even my closest friends who tell me like, oh man, do you miss it? Do you miss it? Do you miss it? Even Angel Cancel, you remember him? We just talked about it like a week ago on time I got my channel back. So thank you all for the love. It's back. I have full control of it. I'm very happy about that. And I've transitioned it to a Gmail account. So AFSINREVERIE'S now Gmail official. So yeah, it's very interesting. So that is what happened to my channel. Now the future of the channel is, I think it'd be a little weird to just do like the blip from Marvel and pretend that like these 6 years didn't happen and just go about regular business. So I think what I'm going to do, and I would love to hear your input below, is I'm gonna redo the tutorial seasons and videos. So the Armed for Saving Reverie Morpher tutorial show is back, but I just finished Lost Galaxy. So Wild Force was next. So I'm not gonna do Wild Force next. I'm gonna start with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, reset the table, redo the show. I still need to pick the best location in my apartment to shoot. I have all my morphers in that box in my closet. So all my morphers are here. So I can do the show. I just need to find a good location. I want to do the game room, but I got to figure it out with the arcade one-ups and everything else in there. This is my living room, kitchen area. Well, this is the living room. The kitchen's right there. But yeah, so I just want to pick a better spot to do my show. I still got to figure that out. But yeah, the first video of my tutorial show will be this upcoming week, starting next week. It'll be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It'll be a great way to give a shout out to the Mighty Morphin season and JDF and all the other amazing Power Rangers in that first season that really broke pop culture. It opened up pop culture to Power Rangers. And yeah, so that's the future of this channel. I'm gonna also be reviewing random things. Like I want to review the Morpher, the Legacy Morpher from Hasbro, the Lightning Collection Morpher, excuse me. And I want to review that huge MMPR red that Shane got me for Christmas. And also I want to give you a tour of my game room and just talk about other stuff, so I'm open to any and all ideas. So that's the future of the channel. Next week, look for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers tutorial review. So brush off the dust. Remember how to do the morph. We're going to get into it next week. So yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is up, and we're just going to start from the beginning and go through all the seasons, even the newest ones. So yeah, that's the future of the channel. I'm back. It's back. I'm happy about it, and I can't wait to share with you all. It's been 36 minutes. We'll try to keep this under 40. Thank you for watching. One thing I do want to say, I do have other projects. So if you really want to hear what we've been up to or what I've been up to, like in the past year before I got my channel back, I started a podcast with James and Joey. It's called We the Nerds. Like we the people in politics or whatever in our government. It's We the Nerds. So if you look on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, type in We the Nerds, and you will see our podcast. Subscribe, listen, rate. We paused it for about 6 months, but we had a conversation after I got this channel back, after when JDF passed. We had a conversation like life's too short to not do things you love and be passionate about. So we're going to kick the channel up again. And the We the Nerds podcast was literally just about fandoms and nerd stuff. And you'll see we have about 10 episodes up, and we're going to continue rolling again. We're going to record this upcoming weekend, next weekend actually. And we're going to review Green with Evil parts 1 and 2. And then the next episode will be parts 3 and 4. And then the final episode for the Green with Evil review will be episode 5. In honor of JDF, we're going to review Green with Evil 1 through 5. We take questions on the show, so please like, subscribe, listen to We the Nerds, WETHENERDS. That's us. You'll see the art. It's me, James, and Joey. Thank you, James, for drawing that. And Joey, I know you helped with that too. So We the Nerds cast. We're going to start resuming shooting this upcoming weekend. Green with Evil 1 and 2 will be the next episode. So we look forward to that, and we want to hear your thoughts on that. We have an email contact in the podcast, and we answer your questions every week. We pick 3 to answer. So I look forward to continuing the We the Nerds journey. Angel Cancel, one of my boys from back in the day, is going to join us as a special guest to review Green with Evil 1 and Green with Evil 1 through 5. So I look forward to recording that next weekend. We have a lot to discuss because I watched it as a kid, and it was crazy. Like you would have thought, war and all that is stressful in real life. But like as a kid in your little mind, you're like, the Power Rangers really going to be defeated by this guy? Oh my God. So, and Tommy was the new kid. And yeah, it was just a really crazy time to be a Power Ranger fan. So we're going to review Green with Evil. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, We the Nerds cast. That's the podcast that James, Joey, and I started. Happy to have any of you on as a guest as we discover future topics. But we're going to shift the podcast to more of a Power Ranger podcast where we're going to review all the Power Ranger seasons. So we're going to start with Green and Evil to kick off that transition from everything nerdy and hobby field to Power Rangers. So yeah, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, We the Nerds Cast. We the Nerds Cast, like podcast. Happy to have you join us there. We look forward to it. So yeah, that's everything. This has been a 40-minute video, so thank you if you watched all 40 minutes. And even if you didn't, cool having you here. So I want to thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the comments. Tell me what you'd like to see. I mean, we're going to do tutorials. Next video is going to be Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Morpher tutorial. And we're going to start from there and go through every season. I look forward to it. Thank you for all the support and love. I could not have done this without you all. So thank you again. And with that being said, Armor for Sleep and Reverie out. And I will catch you on the flip side. See you next week when we get back to the basics and redo of my channel and start the season of Morpher tutorials with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the season that pretty much influenced all of us. So enjoy your day and catch you on the flip side. Thank you for your support. Much love. Armor for Sleep and Reverie out. See y'all guys and gals.